There's been some sad news in the missing 7-month-old that was allegedly kidnapped from Yucaipa. This investigation has moved from a kidnapping to now a death investigation. About a week ago, Emmanuel was reported missing in Yucaipa, California. His mother claimed she was attacked while changing his diaper, and when she woke up, he was gone. Investigators in the beginning was of course looking at this as a possible abduction, like they did their work. They sent in cadaver dogs, they seized electronics, a GPS to see where they traveled to, they checked out different CCTV footage, they went through a lot of evidence. And because of the evidence that they seized, they then turned and arrested the parents. Let's take a quick listen to this news report before I give the rest of my commentary. Everything is alleged, fair use, and trigger warning. This story is extremely triggering, so if you are easily triggered, please click off now.
We begin tonight with a grim update out of Southern California. Police thought something didn't add up, and now the parents of a missing 7-month-old baby are under arrest, facing charges of murder. Good evening, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Vargas. Police continue to search for the body of 9-month-old Emmanuel Haro tonight. Sources tell News Nation that police believe the father killed the baby, and they say it happened inside the home. Sources tell us a substantial amount of blood was found on the carpet inside. The baby's mother, Rebecca, first reported Emmanuel missing 8 days ago on August 14th. She said that around 7 p.m. she was changing his diaper outside her truck in a retail parking lot when a man came up behind her, attacked her, and knocked her out. When she woke up, she said, Emmanuel was gone.
I woke up right here on the floor, and I didn't see Emmanuel. If you know anything, please come and bring my son back. Please, I'm begging you. If anyone knows anything.
Police reportedly found inconsistencies in Rebecca Haro's story almost immediately and confronted her about it. From there, everything went south. Police said Rebecca stopped talking. Investigators searched the parents' home, took their car, and issued warrants for all their phones and electronic devices. Child Protective Services took custody of their 2-year-old child. And Jacob Haro's criminal history quickly came to light. He was convicted of child cruelty, a felony over serious injuries to a 10-week-old baby girl back in 2018. In fact, a journalist told our own Ashley Banfield last night that the baby girl was hurt so badly she can no longer see, talk, or walk to this day. Let's bring in our panel of experts now. Kim Degonia is the former assistant district attorney for Riverside County, California. Bobby Chacon is a former FBI special agent, and Lauren Mathias is a journalist and hosted the Hidden True Crime podcast. Great to have all three of you here. Kim, I'd like to start with you. They've not yet found the baby's body, but they have already charged the parents with murder. How much evidence do you need before you can file charges like this?
Hi, Elizabeth. Thanks for having me. In a case like this, the standard is probable cause in order to have both parents arrested for the charges of murder. So it sounds like from what your investigation has uncovered that there seems to be quite enough evidence to charge both with murder.
Bobby, parents are both in custody tonight. They will obviously they're being held separately. They'll probably try and get one of them to flip and confess, likely the mother, correct?
Exactly, Elizabeth. I mean, we've been down this road before. You pick out which one you think you'll have the most success putting pressure on, and that in this case, because of his prior history, I think it would be the mother, and she's obviously,
the father's the one with the prior history.
Right, and the mother would be the one that you would put the pressure on, but it's her child as well.
And I just wanted to pause it there because I agree. We know that the father is very abusive, and we're going to get into exactly how abusive he is in a minute. And, you know, also during this whole event, she made sure he was out of the way and sort of protected. I feel like she's trying to protect him. She's going along with this story. But she seems to be the weakest link as well. So I do see the police pressuring her and questioning her first. Who knows, they may even make a deal with her. And if she's smart, she'll take it.
So I think that that's exactly what the strategy at this point is going to be. Really go with both of them hard and see if you can get some cooperation.
Lauren, sources tell News Nation not only that there was a lot of blood inside the home, but that all the photos of Emmanuel had been removed from the house. All the baby's clothing had been thrown away. How long do we think this baby might have been dead?
I think that we are suspecting actually quite a long time, according to, the true crime podcasting community. They have been speculating when the last time Emmanuel was seen. We're hearing various dates, some even saying as early as August 3rd, but there's no sighting that we have known of the day of this. Now we don't even have to say alleged kidnapping. Well, I guess alleged kidnapping still, but
alleged murder in this case.
Alleged murder now, right? Exactly. Thank you, Elizabeth. And we are seeing this sort of pattern of it's been quite some time since baby Emmanuel has been seen. So who knows when this alleged murder now actually even happened.
CPS failed in this situation badly. There were already a child that was taken out the home that almost died. Baby Emmanuel has some of the same features that child has. So was he born like that? Or was he made that way after a moment of rage from his father? CPS failed yet again. Now we're going to get into a story breaking down exactly what he did to his daughter and exactly how his daughter is today and how she is currently disabled and unable to do anything for herself. He strangled this baby. So again, trigger warning.
Search for a 7-month-old baby boy named Emmanuel Haro, and the details that we've just learned about the baby's father and his criminal past, absolutely hair-raising. The number of children that have been moved out of the Haro home into the custody of others is nothing short of alarming. Tonight it is Jake's past, however, that is becoming a lot more worrisome. Yesterday, we learned about his felony child cruelty conviction, the one that put him in jail for 6 months back in 2023. Both Jake and his ex-wife, Vanessa Avila, pleaded guilty to the charges. And tonight, we have learned that crime was committed against his own 10-week-old baby girl, a child who survived but suffered horrendous lifelong injuries. We've got photos of the child, and I should tell you that the family has given us permission to show those photos, likely as a warning about Jake Haro. But I do want to tell you this. When we show you those photos, they are quite disturbing. So fair warning in advance. Here is the little girl in her hospital bed, 10 weeks old. She is recovering here from several fractures to her ribs, to her skull, and to her legs. She is also recovering from a brain hemorrhage. This little girl was eventually removed from the Haro home, and she was adopted by one of Vanessa's cousins. That cousin has cared for this little girl and even renamed her. Her new name is Promise Faith. According to the cousin, Promise is now 7 years old. But take a look at this picture. The damage that she suffered from those injuries was permanent. Promise was left blind. Promise was left unable to walk. Promise was left unable to talk and unable to swallow due to strangulation. We are told from this cousin that Promise has 3% brain function, that Promise needs a feeding tube, and that Promise will need round-the-clock care for the rest of her life. So let's just contemplate this as you see these pictures. Jake Haro, who beat this child, received 6 months in jail and probation afterwards. The same cousin who adopted this little girl, Promise, also took in Jake's oldest son, who she says was born with fetal alcohol syndrome. That child was named after his father, Jake, but the cousin also renamed the little boy. His new name is Carlos. And now this same cousin who has taken in 2 of Jake Haro's children, one that Jake Haro beat into a lifelong condition, another that was born with fetal alcohol syndrome. Now this cousin is caring for a 3rd child removed from the Haro home just this week. A 2-year-old child was taken out of Jake and Rebecca's care.
4 babies that suffered under the care of these people, these monsters. They stood there doing interviews with fake tears and fake heaving and fake emotions, and the community read right through it. The community saw the true monsters. So now Emmanuel is presumed dead. But where is he? I'm hoping and thinking maybe they can make a deal with the mother and, she get somewhat, not much of a lighter sentence, maybe parole in 100 years or something, if she told them where he is, because we know he is no longer with us. But there's another looming question that has the true crime community kind of up in an uproar and out here searching just to try to find answers. And that is, when did he actually die? What date? When was he last seen? We're going to take a listen to this video. I love the co-host, who's a true crime podcaster. You can find her at Annie Elise. Her podcast name is Seriously. Let's take a listen to what they have to say.
More news that is still emerging about this case, even at this hour. Here to take us through all of the latest developments, we've got true crime reporter Annie Elise, who hosts the podcast Seriously with Annie Elise. Thank you so much for being with us tonight, Annie. First of all, do you know anything more about exactly what happened when the Haros were arrested today?
Hi, Brian. Good to see you. No, so as far as the information, about 30 minutes ago, it was released that Jake has too been charged with murder with malice. In terms of the arrest itself, it's my understanding that law enforcement came out in droves and around 7 a.m. this morning, coming up, approaching the house, and booked them and took them into custody around 7:45 a.m. Shortly after that, it was chaotic on the scene. Media was showing up, bystanders were showing up, and that's when they started doing the search of the property. They blocked off the streets, put the crime scene tape up. To your point, they started looking all around the scene. They were dumping out garbage bins, going through the trash, searching that shed that was also adjacent to the property. And it's my understanding they also had been removing some floorboards from inside the house that potentially had blood on them.
Oh, that's just terrible, Annie. I'm looking at the video here. We can see they had the SWAT team out there, and there he is being taken out in the handcuffs. Wow. What do you make of where baby Emmanuel is? I mean, obviously we're all holding on to hope, but is there any new information about where he might be?
Unfortunately, at this point, because there has not been a family member who has said they have had eyes on him in the last month now, I think that it can be a very broad search. And Cabazon and the whole area down there, it's desert. It's so much landscape. It's vast. It's so much dirt that he could be anywhere. And if somebody hasn't laid eyes on him in weeks, that gave them much longer of a lead time to dispose of evidence of his body, to drive somewhere far. So I think this may end up being a tough search, although I'm hopeful that they were reckless enough with their digital footprint that they will be able to find him soon.
It was interesting. Police said that they gathered digital and electronic evidence. Do we have any idea what that is?
They haven't said specifically, but it's my understanding, based on the statement they put out and locals who were talking, that they looked through their devices, which we also know Jake Haro's attorney said they willingly passed those over, looked through different electronics at the house. I would imagine also looking through potential GPSs in the vehicles. So while it hasn't been stated exactly what they found, they did say that some of that digital evidence is what led them to getting the arrest warrant.
And when it comes to the surveillance footage, there are now these reports of Rebecca with a black eye before she reported the baby missing. What does that mean, do you think?
So there's a few different reports that she was seen with this black eye as early as August 3rd. She also attended a family member's funeral not too long ago, to which this is the footage that a lot of people are looking at and dissecting, where it appears she may have had a black eye and covered it up with makeup. But I do think that out of all of the surveillance footage that people are talking about, the most interesting piece of it is the footage that was reportedly captured from the liquor store across from the Big Five. And we know that there was footage because, again, Jake's attorney yesterday spoke out saying they saw the footage, Rebecca and Jake were shown the footage, and when confronted with, okay, well, what was seen, his response was that it corroborates Rebecca's story, that she fell to the ground. But what's interesting is there was no mention of the baby being seen in that footage, no mention of a second person being seen in that footage approaching Rebecca. So because that was announced and released yesterday, I'm curious if that ended up painting them into a corner as well and just being more evidence against them.
So there's no telling when they actually unalived him. There's no telling where he is. I just hope that, one of the parents at least bring him home so he can be laid to rest. The community continues to mourn, gathering at vigil sites, while law enforcement honors the search and presses forward. This is a deeply tragic turn, but no one will stop looking for Emmanuel. We'll definitely be bringing updates in this case. Please make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell, set it to all, so you'll be notified anytime I go live, upload, or premiere. Please be kind to one another. Unapologetically Mika, out.